Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy. I am back again with another video. I hope that you guys are doing well. Excuse me. I hope that you guys are staying safe. So you guys, I'm back with another video. I wanted to talk a little bit about narcissistic parents and in-laws. You guys know the holidays are here and I hope that you guys do enjoy it to the fullest. But I do want you to be mindful if you do have narcissistic parents and or siblings and or in-laws. Just understand what it is that could be happening or what might occur during this period of time. Essentially, with the narcissistic parents and in-laws, what they like to do is they like to ruin the holiday for you, and they like to use this as a time to bully you. They like to use this as a time to intimidate you, and they like to do it because they know that it makes you feel insecure. They know that it makes you feel less than. They also know they feel like if they can do that, then you would feel like unwelcome, you would feel unimportant, and that you will feel like an outcast or rejected or like a black sheep. And I definitely get how hurtful that can be, and um, shocking and unexpected and devastating how that could feel, especially if it's like coming from your own like blood parent. But just understand, this could happen, and one of the things that you want to do, as I always say, is just protect your energy, protect your feelings, and really try to detach yourself as best as you can from the narc parents or the narc in-laws, and keep the contact as limited as possible. As I always say, be respectful. This is not bashing anybody's parents, because sometimes we do love our narcissistic parents, we do love our narcissistic in-laws, and we do love our narcissistic siblings, right? And it's not so easy to just cut them off cold turkey, or it's not so, like something is wrong with them, but it's like you don't have the strength right now to cut it off, or to stand up for yourself, or to be assertive, or to set boundaries. I get that, because that was me many years ago when I was dealing with my aunt and living with her and being in contact with her before I went no contact with her at the end of 2014, beginning of 2015. And I can tell you guys, the reason why I say that they intimidate and bully you is because I remember, even like when it was my birthday, and if it was her birthday too, or just the holiday time period. I'll tell you guys a story. Like when my aunt, she had her birthday, it was at this restaurant called Houston's. I want to say it was in what part of California? I can't remember exactly where. I want to say, was it Hawthorne? It might have been Hawthorne, for those of you that are familiar with California. But anyway, it's like a really nice restaurant where you go in and the lights are like really dim, and the food was actually really, really good. But I just remember the whole time, like my aunt, she was just talking down on me and like questioning everything about my life and what I was doing. And she was questioning everything about the foods that I was eating. Remember how I told you guys, like she was comparing herself to me and her sons. And she was like picking on other people on the table, but the focus, you could tell it was kind of on me. And then what was interesting, I think I had mentioned this to you guys before. So we had ate our dinner, and then everyone was kind of giving everybody a hug or whatever. And I gave my aunt a hug, but I don't know if I did share this with you guys, but I remember I was given, I can't remember if it was the oldest or the youngest. I want to say it was the youngest. I was giving him a hug, and he's so tall. He's like 6'5", and I'm like, I want to say I'm like 5'6", 5'7", right? And so I'm like hugging him, and I had to bend over. And as I'm bending over, I could see my aunt. She was looking at me, and her eyes, it was just like, it was like one of those looks like, oh, I'm gonna get you. You guys know that they have the narcissist, like the death stare. That's kind of like what it was. So I don't know if she was trying to do that to intimidate me or bully me or whatever it was. So you have that going on, and then even I had, as I told you guys, with Christmas and stuff, back in 2014, late 2015, the whole time that she was in the car and everything, she was pretending like she was going to buy me something for Christmas. And she's like, oh, so what are you doing with your life? And what plans do you have? And I was telling her, like, I don't have everything figured out. Nobody does. Like, I'm not perfect, but a narcissist, they want to make you feel like you're perfect, because they try to set you up to fail, basically. But anyway, I was telling her my plan, and she was like, "Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. You shouldn't do that." Blah 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 blah. And I'm thinking like, okay, so why did you ask me? You know. And so, and but then we're pulling into the mall and everything, and she was looking for a parking spot. She was like, "Well, Joy, the reason why I'm so like adamant on you or hard on you," she was like, "because I told your grandma I wanted you to go to college and I wanted you to graduate high school and this and this and that." She was like, "I see you as a daughter." And blah 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 blah. And I'm thinking like, okay, so a lot of narcissists, they like to use, it's like an excuse, for the abuse, or an excuse for the way that they mistreat you. Even like they try to justify it, if that makes sense. And it's like, no, there's no justification for that, So, and I was telling her like, okay, but long story short, I was telling her like I wanted to go home because I was feeling really uncomfortable, and like my aunt wasn't getting her way. She wasn't getting the control that she wanted. And she lashed out on me. I told you guys, like, she raised her voice and she was saying something like, "Damn it this and damn it that," in the car. And because I wasn't complying. You guys, narcissists are all about control, and I wasn't complying to her, and that got her upset, you guys. And so, yeah, they like to use this time to bully you, to intimidate you, to make you feel less than. Now, when it comes to the in-laws, they will do the same thing. They will like pretend like they want to take you out for lunch or take you out for dinner, and they like to get information on you so they can use that against you. And what they'll do is they'll tell your partner things like, if they don't have information on you, then they'll begin to make stuff up, and then they'll say a few good things about you, but then most of the stuff, it'll be negative, especially if you're not allowing that narc in-law to control you, or if that narc in-law feels like she can't control her son or daughter, then that in-law is really going to try to bully you or really try to intimidate you and get her son or daughter to choose them over you, the partner, and stuff like that. Or the narc in-law can just say like little like condescending remarks about your cooking, or condescending remarks about your looks, or condescending remarks about your children, or about your relationship, or about how clean or unclean your house is, or how you raise kids or the children and stuff like that. So he or she, the narc parent will, the narc in-law will begin to put doubt in, you and your partner. Like the narc parent in-law could be telling you one thing and could be telling your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend something completely different. And so just understand, it's sad that this happens, and that you have to deal with being bullied and intimidated into, like, let's say if you are going over to your boyfriend's mother's or boyfriend's father's house, understand they may try to intimidate you then. They may try to call you out on something, or they may say something that's really uncomfortable, and they try to get a reaction out of you. So if you're like, "Joy, well, what do I do?" Again, you just want to make sure that you can practice the gray rock method, no reaction. If you do respond, then you just say, "Oh, okay." Like, just, you have to try to make it seem like it's not bothering you, because if that narc parent or in-law can pick up that something that they said or done has bothered you, then they're going to keep doing that, and they're going to try to keep poking the bear. So you have to essentially, you and your partner have to get on the same page. And if you and your partner is not on the same page, it's not going to work out. But because it's just going to be you against a whole narcissistic like cult, so, and you can't win against that, like, because the narc in-law or parent, they have full control over like mostly everybody in that cult family dynamic. So you just kind of want to keep that in mind. But yeah, you just have to say, "Oh, I'm," you could just respond in any way. Like, you could be like, "Okay, yeah," like, and then talk about something else, or change the subject, or or just acknowledge them in some way. And then just, maybe you might want to get up and walk away, or say, "Oh, the time is up," or whatever, or "I have to go," or sometimes you might just ignore it. Sometimes you might not even respond, but you just really want to get in control of your emotions, because that's what that narc parent or that narc in-law is fishing for. And sometimes you might have to say something to that in-law or parent. You might have to stand your ground. You might have to say, hey, it's not okay to talk to me like that, or it's like, if we didn't ask for the advice, then you shouldn't be giving it to us, if that makes sense. Like, because a lot of in-laws like to intrude in on your relationship with you and your partner, because they're so used to being in control over their children, or they're over their adult children. And when you come into the picture, it's like you're taking something away from them and that narc parents or that narc in-law's mind, which is crazy. But yeah, try not to let them bully you. Try not to let them intimidate you. Stand your ground. Stand your ground and speak up for yourself accordingly. But don't come out of character. Like, don't allow the narc in-law or parent to get supply, because that's what they want. They want the supply from you. And yeah, just understand, you might have to keep your distance from your narc parent and your in-laws. And if they ask you why, they may try to make you feel guilty or shame or obligation and fear, and like, oh, we're going to abandon you if you don't talk to us, or if you don't choose us over your girlfriend or boyfriend, and you're out of the family. Then you kind of have to make some important decisions at that point. So anyway, I hope that this is helpful. If you are dealing with narc parents and in-laws, just understand that they don't change, unfortunately. And there's nothing that you can do or say to make your parent love you, like you, or the in-law to love you, like you. Like, they don't see you as a part of their family. They don't want to welcome you in. They don't want to get to know you. They don't like you, or they just, like, some of them may like you, but they may not like the fact that the attention is off of them, which is selfish. It's like, go live your life. But those in-laws and parents, they're codependent themselves. And so if you are a codependent yourself, you have to make sure that you do that inner work, because if not, you're going to keep being codependent, and you're going to attract other people that are codependent. And 9 times out of 10, two codependents, it's usually doesn't work, because one's going to be wanting more, one's going to be giving more, and it's going to be really out of balance. So you have to make sure that you're independent, but once the time is right, then you come into the relationship and you're interdependent, which means you don't really need that person, but you want them, if that makes sense. So anyway, I would love to know if this was helpful. What was your biggest takeaway? If you are dealing with narcissistic parents or in-laws during the holiday time, I would love to hear how you're coping, how you're dealing with it. Don't let it get to you, you guys. Just keep going forward. Live your own life. Be your own person. You don't have to be like your parents or your in-laws. And again, you have to talk to your partner. Maybe you guys might have to get into coaching or couples therapy, couples counseling to sort it out. If not, then you just want to be careful, because then the other thing is, you could have it where, and I want to make a video about this, is where sometimes your partner, let's say if you wanted to go into couples counseling or couples therapy, your partner may try to protect that narc, their narc parent. So they could lie to the therapist and saying like, oh, there's not a problem, or, oh, I don't see anything, so you want to be careful of that your partner is not lying to the therapist, or that your partner is not acknowledging the abuse that has been going on, and acknowledging how their parent has been mistreating you. So you want to be mindful that if that's happening, then that's like, no, it's not worth it, because it's like they're choosing their parent over you. So, but anyway, I love you guys so much. Make sure to give this video a like, share, and subscribe. And till the next time. Bye, guys.